This is Alan, yesterday's doubleheader. Well, I got you guys. Welcome to TV's Daily NBA Recap, where we talk about yesterday's games in a short amount of time. Let's go. The first game I want to discuss is the Game 5 between the Denver Nuggets and the Utah Jazz, in which the Denver Nuggets closed the gap in the series as they win 117-107. Great performance from Jamal Murray in this game. 42 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, with 33 points coming in the second half. He was absolutely on fire. It was such a joy to watch. He just felt like he just couldn't miss. Nikola Jokic also helped in this game. 31 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, with 22 of his points coming in the first quarter. I mean, that was a crazy first quarter as well. On the Utah Jazz side of things, Donovan Mitchell, another great game. 30 points, 5 assists. Mike Conley with 17 points, 5 assists as well, with Jordan Clarkson chipping in 17 points off the bench. My biggest takeaway from this game was that, look, it was a back and forth battle. Utah Jazz actually had quite a bit of a lead, but the Denver offense was always, catching up. They were always putting on some resistance, and that had a lot to do, especially in the second half, with Jamal Murray. I mean, first quarter it felt like it was going to be a nice back and forth battle once again, but Utah thought it was going to be another one of those blowouts where the Utah Jazz would just slowly but surely start to break away, especially in the second quarter when they got a 9-point lead at halftime. But then the second quarter came, and then the Denver Nuggets started fighting back a little bit because Utah got a double-digit lead, and then Jamal Murray was just helping them slowly but surely come back. Nikola Jokic struggled after that flawless first quarter where he scored 22 points, I believe, hit 4 threes as well. And it was going to be a close game down up to the very last bucket, and it was. And the biggest thing here was that the Denver Nuggets' defensive effort in the second half was probably the best I've seen from them all series. In the second half, they only allowed 44 points, and in the game in total, they allowed 50% from the field, but just the effort that was shown, people were moving their feet, Michael Porter Jr. was jumping for loose balls and all that. It was just good effort, and that's all you just want from the Denver Nuggets. Sure, they might not be the best defense, but just be an average defense like they have been all year. And sure, they almost were trying to give away the game late because Michael Porter Jr., instead of being patient with the ball on a rebound, he started dribbling like a madman, got stolen, and the Jazz got easy to the other end to cut the lead down to I believe 6. But then, just that defensive effort, from the fourth quarter, switching on screens, being able to get on the defender, making them shoot late in the shot clock, those are the type of effort we wanted to see from the Nuggets. And they were closing out possessions. I talked about in the past how much they struggled just trying to get defensive rebound, and then it wasn't really a case in this game. So, good on them. I mean, the Utah Jazz did, it wasn't as great of a game offensively for them. I mean, they did miss some absolute sitters. They had some open looks and they weren't able to hit it. But the Denver Nuggets played well. It wasn't they were just getting easy bucket after easy bucket. Sure, they still had good shooting percentages, but it was a lot better on just closing out possessions. I mean, you can tell. I think this is the only game where they out rebounded the Jazz. So, good win for the Denver Nuggets. Jamal Murray, another fantastic game. I swear the only game that he played bad in was that Game 3 demolition. But yeah, I mean, are they able to come back? If they could play that defensive effort, sure, why not? I just wanted to see another close series, so good win for Denver. And then we go to the second game of the doubleheader, and this game was an absolute blowout. 154-111, the LA Clippers take the 3-2 series lead. Great performances all around from the Clippers. 35 points for Paul George in a great back-to-back game. 32 points, 7 rebounds for Kawhi Leonard. And then just good, contributions up and down the roster. Montrezl Harrell off the bench, 90 points, 11 rebounds. On the Dallas side of things, Luka, kind of a struggle game from the field. 22 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, but on 17 shots. Trey Burke had 15 points. Not really a world beater as he was in the last game. DeLon Wright with 11 points off the bench as well. This game, the only way for me to describe it is all those little, problems that we have with the Clippers, and all those little issues, is Montrezl Harrell going to be healthy enough to play? Is Paul George going to step up? They were all answered here. I mean, this is just an absolute demolition. I believe this is their most franchise history in the playoffs. There's so many records I've put up on the screen. I wish I had all of them with me, but I just don't. But the Clippers, this is just absolute domination. They felt like they couldn't miss. They scored 63% from the field, no resistance from the Dallas Mavericks whatsoever. 63% from the three. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. This is just like a pure offensive clinic. And at this point, I mean, they were just clowning the Mavericks just on the offensive end because no one could stop them. Without Kristaps Porzingis, who they say it's a sore knee, but I believe it's a lot more than they're leading it on to be. But this was just like an offensive demolition. I mean, it was a good basketball game for Paul George, who after the game said that he wasn't in a great place because the NBA bubble has been a lot tougher than people make it seem to be. I mean, we definitely did discuss this before, and like how much that bubble's gonna affect them because they've been away from their families for so long and stuff like that. And people don't realize. I mean, they've been there since like for almost a month now without really like being able to leave the bubble, being able to see their families and stuff like that. It's tough, but for the Clippers, being able to go to the second round and bring in over some families, that'd be great. But at the same time, you have to be also empathetic to how they're feeling just to consent the bubble. Yeah, on the Dallas Mavericks side of things, the defense just wasn't there at all. And I guess the biggest question before this game was that who do you trust more, like going in, like closing out the series? The Mavs supporting cast, who have been great throughout the series, or do you believe that Paul George is going to bounce back eventually? And if I had to take that bet, it'd probably have to be the multiple-time All-Star, All-NBA player being able to bounce back instead of those bench players being able to produce at the level that they have been the last few games. And that was what happened. I mean, they went to Paul George early, they got him his shots early, and he was able to have a really efficient game, which is good for him. And they're in the driver's seat. They have with this dominant performance. I mean, this is a tough performance that is very draining for a team because 154 points, that's unheard of. The Raptors scored 150 in their Game 4 win, but this is not so basketball that, especially for playoff basketball intensity, this is just unacceptable giving away that many points. Carlisle got ejected too for all the BS foul calls, but it wasn't that. It was more the fact that the Clippers just looked at the Dallas Mavericks' weakness and just attacked it all game, and that was the issue. There are a lot of questionable things that come from this game. I mean, the Clippers bench just keep yapping at the Dallas bench. I mean, that I could talk about it, just making them more and more unlikable in this situation. And the dirty play by Marcus Morris stepping on Luka's injured ankle and stuff like that. A lot of questionable things, but all that aside, they still would have dominated this game, and good one for them as they go 3-2 in the series. I mean, this team, honestly, I love Kawhi and all that, but this team is just so unlikable that I just look at them and I just always have to shake my head at a lot of things. But it is what it is. They were able to get the win, and they look like to be in the driver's seat to win Game 6 as well. You have to see Kristaps Porzingis' status, but it really does seem like this is going to be the case. Thank you for listening to today's recap. If you're watching this on YouTube, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification button for new videos every day. And if you're on IGTV, drop a like, leave a follow, all that good stuff. I really do appreciate your support. But yeah, that's it for today's recap. I'll be back tomorrow with another recap. And thank you for taking the time out today for watching this. So hope you guys have a great day. Take it easy, y'all.